I won $10,000 cash, my boyfriend of 4 years, and I have been having a childish fight, and I did something I can't undo. He's a full-time student who works part-time in the summer. I have a full-time and part-time job. He studies a lot. We live together and mostly live off my pay while he stretches what he makes in the summer. Neither of us have ever owned a car because it isn't necessary where we live. We both walk or take the public everywhere to save money. In the morning, we stop at a corner shop shortly before splitting up for the day. He buys cigarettes and coffee. I buy fruit for my lunch, and on the weekends, lotto tickets. He always makes fun of me for paying the stupid tax, but I figure my indulgence is cheaper and doesn't come with lung cancer. Sometimes I jokingly tell him not to expect a penny when I win. The day I won, he answered me with, "Fine, keep it all. It's not like I'm crying over a penny of nothing over here." I showed him I'd won. He stared for a bit and then dismissively told me I'd probably spent more than that on tickets. In response, I asked what I should blow his half on for myself. I was honestly joking at the time, but he suddenly became angrier than I've ever seen him, and I didn't want to admit I'd been kidding because he was so pissed off it pissed me off. He wants a car, and I don't. He keeps trying to steamroller me, so I'm refusing to share the money. In honesty, I'm willing to spend or save the money for us, but I don't want a car. I won't use a car, and it will keep costing us money in parking and maintenance. After weeks of him sulking and lecturing me about his entitlement to the money, he took me to a car lot and tried to embarrass me into going along with him in front of a salesman. I threw a tantrum after we left without buying anything, and I went to my mom's and paid our rent up to the end of the year and donated the rest to charity. He doesn't know. I fucked up and don't know how to come clean. Update. Long story short. A couple months before I won, my boyfriend had secretly dropped out of school to join a Christian rock band, he's not Christian, and bartend to cover his new coke habit, which explains so much. He took me winning as a sign they were about to make it and should go on tour. That's why he wanted the car so damn much. Obviously, we had a huge fight. I sacrificed a lot because he told me he'd never be happy without that degree, and he threw it away to play rock star while I ground myself down at dead-end jobs. I told him I agreed to support him through one dream, and if he was done with it, I was going after my dreams now. He made all kinds of promises to me about how he'll take care of me when he gets famous, but I told him the only promises I cared about were the ones he made when I agreed to help him through school. He broke up with me until I come to your senses. As far as I'm concerned, that's already happened, so I had his brother pick up his stuff. He tried to cause problems about me illegally evicting him, but I reminded him I had some text conversations where he said, "Your apartment, your problem, and I don't live there anymore, so deal with it." I have no idea if that's legally enforceable, but neither does he. My lease is up in 3 months, and I won't have to worry about it after that. It's been really rough accepting he's not the guy I fell in love with anymore, but the way he's been acting has made it a lot easier. I'm mostly angry I sunk so much of my time and money and compromised my future for him. But I guess it's better I found out now instead of later. I got tested in case he cheated or was doing other drugs, and so far, so good. I'm also 9,000% sure my ex staged the 3 break-ins we had in our apartment after one of his friends told me around that time my then BF was trying to sell my prescriptions and his laptop, that I ended up replacing FS that were supposedly stolen. I told the cops and his friend agreed to make a statement, but IDK what's happening with that yet. Other than that, I'm happy to report I'm only working one job now. That's actually something I want to do and pays way more. My apartment is much nicer without his junk, and now the toilet is never unflushed and the seat is always down, so I've got that going for me too. With all my free time, I've rescued a kitty, and I'm learning to knit. I was planning on becoming an old cat lady, but I also went on my second first date ever. It was with another woman, which was kind of a surprise, but also somehow not. We've got a second date planned, and I'm incredibly giddy with anticipation, which is really nice. Oh, and I told my dad how much you liked his dump him fund consent conversation, and he said his grandma gave him one when he decided to get married at 18, not my mom. so he can't take credit for the idea.